Hello. I've had a really lovely evening, actually a really good day overall. It was somewhat busy but not at all crazy busy at work, and so I got to read quite a lot of my book, which was great. I'm reading the second book in the Beartown trilogy called Us Against You, and Frederick Backman is a solid writer, a very solid writer. Anyway, that was the day, and then I met up with a friend after work, which was really lovely. I hadn't seen her in a few months, and we tried to catch up, every so often, or more frequently than that actually. This was quite a long time between seeing each other, and it was just really, really lovely. We went to a place called Vapiano, which I'd not heard of before, but it was quite nice. I liked the way they did it, and they had 20% off for students, so that was a win. And then she wanted a cup of tea, so we went to the Foyles cafe, which was nice, very nice. I've actually not been there before, and I've realised it's a very good place for me to stop off if I'm ever waiting for a show or to meet someone in town, so that's good to know. And when we got there, when we left Vapiano, I was feeling like I was in the mood either for a dessert or maybe for a hot chocolate or something, but I kind of had it in my head that I'd be going home soon and I could just have it at home. But then when she said, let's go to the second place, I thought, let me see what they have, and also the prices, because, oh my gosh, £5 for a hot chocolate seems ridiculous. But I did have a look at the drinks and at the little pastries and stuff, and I was eyeing up the scones, but again, they were £5 something, and I was just like, look, they were big, but it's not worth it. So I decided not to get it. She just got her tea and we just sat and chatted for an hour. And then they made an announcement saying we're closing in 20 minutes, but these scones are going to go in the bin. So if anyone wants them, grab them. So I went up and got a scone and I was very happy. So yeah, I had a really good evening. But I just feel a little bit, I don't know what the right word is, because it's nothing like what I've been experiencing in the last week or two, which was overwhelmed and stressed and whatever else. I do think for the last couple of weeks, I've just really been missing my parents, and that just is very much still the case. But I was also thinking on the train home about when I left Holland. And I think I've spoken before on this channel about how much that impacted me and still does to this day. And I feel recently, in the last year or two, it's not been as prevalent as it used to be when, oh my gosh, when I was in Australia, that would ruin me time and time again. I was so affected by it. Whereas I feel since I've moved back here, I've been so much happier. And it's just been less prominent. But yeah, I feel it just somehow came back today. And just all the feelings associated with that, and remembering just how hard-hitting it was to leave Holland. And I just feel I don't have a lot of life or energy to give right now, which is fine. I'm home alone and I get to sleep in tomorrow, which is lovely. And then hopefully, if everything goes to plan, I'm going to go to a dance class tomorrow, which I think will be so good for me. If it goes ahead, I'm going to be going to a musical theatre class, which is obviously right up my street. And I'm expecting and hoping it's just going to be fun and just a really good opportunity to move and release. I've not done any movement in so long, so I feel it'll be really good, and I'll hopefully be going with a friend. So hopefully that will just help me. Help me. Am I fooling myself? That cupboard doesn't close because I can't put things away because it's too high up. But yeah, I am just feeling a little bit flat. Not down even, just flat. Last night, oh my gosh, I've mentioned how tired I've been. Last night, I got home around 7:30, 8ish maybe, which was definitely later than I would have liked, but that's another story for another time. And I had some supper. I had soup, the soup I made the other day, which is very disappointing. I think I put too much water in it. And somehow, despite all the spices I added, it's not got enough flavour. And it's just got bits in it. It hasn't blended well. I'm very disappointed with it. This always happens. It's fine. Anyway. So yeah, I had some soup. I think I even edited a video and maybe watched some stuff. I did do stuff, but around, I would say 9:15, I switched off my computer and just lay on my bed and scrolled Instagram and whatever else. And by about 10:30, I was ready to go to sleep, which is so early for me. And you know what? I went to sleep and I slept well, and I gave myself a slight sleep in this morning. Again, I was being brave, still got to work early. And I slept solidly. I don't think I woke up at all in the night, and usually I do. So my goodness. Even though I didn't feel that tired yesterday, clearly, I'm still playing catch up. But I'm very glad I got that nice sleep yesterday. I imagine I'll still go to bed reasonably early today and hopefully, make the most of the sleep in tomorrow. And then we're just gonna keep clawing our way through the next few weeks. I'm really hoping that by about the 21st, 2nd of December, whatever the Monday is, that by that week, I'll be able to slow down. There's a chance we're going to be closed on the 23rd, so I won't need to work, which would be insanely amazing. Currently, I'm scheduled for a half day on the 25th, but that might be cancelled, which would also be amazing. And I think I'm doing a shorter day on like the 31st as well. So fingers crossed, fingers crossed. My battery is about to die, so I'm going to leave it here. I'm going to have a shower, I think, and just chill for the rest of the evening. But yeah, I'm had a good... Hello. I've just come back from a dance class and then a walk around Covent Garden with a friend, and it was so lovely.
Yeah, you better. Woo! Woo! Yeah! Woo! Hey.
I've not moved in a while, and I knew I needed it. I knew, especially with everything that's been going on the last few weeks, I just needed a release, and that's exactly what it was. It was fun, it was chill, it was a little bit hard. I got to move my body, I got to sweat a bit, like it was just so, and I got to do it with a friend. It was so good. And then we walked around for like an hour, maybe less, 45 minutes, and chatted and caught up, and then we went home, and it was perfect. I feel really like good about it. Like, it's only 8:30, lovely. So I'm gonna have some soup for supper, and I decided that because of the time, hopefully things would be reduced in the shop, and I said to myself, if they've got some nice bread, I'll buy some bread to go with the soup. Also, I needed more tippets, and for those of you who don't know, I don't know if tippets are a thing outside of like the Jewish community. I think it's a Jewish thing, but it's these things, I guess they're called croutons, we call them tippets, and they are so good. I could eat these by the handful. My parents always really had to limit like how many we would be allowed in our soup because they're so good. So I got my grandma to buy a top up of these because I ran out, and I picked them up on my way home as well, which was such a win. And then that's the bread, nice and chunky, felt a little bit soft, a little bit hard. I don't know, we'll see if it's good. But it was 60p for this whole thing, so that felt worth it. Also, one thing I forgot to mention last night is that we booked my flights to Australia, and it feels so good. I had mentioned it to my parents, like we'd been talking about it for a couple of weeks now, and then there was one more thing I think I was waiting to hear back from, and it was to do with acting work, and my agent said just book and let us know the dates are available and we'll make them work around it. If something comes of it, which so far it hasn't, but like if. So once I got that confirmation from my agent, I think it was on Friday, I then spoke to my parents Saturday night and they said, well, we agreed that usually the best day to buy tickets is a Tuesday. So we agreed we'd do it Tuesday or Wednesday, I think. And then I didn't hear from them on Tuesday and I was like, okay, interesting. And it got to around, call it 10:15, and I was like, right, in the next half hour or so, I think I'm gonna go to bed. And then at 10:20 something, I got a message from my parents saying, shall we book now? Luckily it was 10:20 and not 11:20, but yeah, and I'd done so much research about which flights would suit me, and also like within budget, and I'd spent so long looking at it and so many times, which also isn't a good idea because it like boosts up the prices or hikes up the prices. But the struggle was that I wanted to leave on a Wednesday night, and a lot of the flights would get me in on a Friday evening in Australia, which was a bit too risky with Shabbat. So there were a lot of like trying to figure out what the amount of time was that we could allow. And in the end, we narrowed it down to a pretty good flight with Singapore Airlines, which I love. And the connections were good, like it wasn't too long layovers, and the timings of the flight were pretty nice. The only annoying thing was that I would be arriving Monday night back here, whereas I would have preferred a Monday morning flight so that I could work on Monday. And also it got me into Australia around like 5:30 in the morning, and that was a little bit too early. Well, I mean, we would have made it work, but I would have felt bad for my parents who might have to come pick me up at that time. And so as I was chatting to my father specifically, he's usually the one with like booking flights and things, he just was like, let me just have one more quick look. And he found this flight that was like £100 cheaper, not as good airlines, admittedly, but we'll manage. And it leaves after work on Tuesday, which means it gets me in very nicely on time on the Thursday evening, I think. Is that right? I feel like it's still a Friday morning that I arrive, but I know that the layover is still pretty decent, so I don't quite know how that works. Maybe the flight is longer, the journey. But regardless, it means I can work Wednesday and then go straight to the airport and then arrive at a reasonable time for my parents in Australia. So like that's a win-win. And then on the other end, I've got a nicely timed leaving, like departure time, I think on the Sunday, and then I arrive so early in the morning on Monday. I don't really understand. I know time goes backwards, but I still don't really understand how, like the connection must be so quick, but it gets me in nicely on time before work and I can go straight from the airport to work, which will be hard, I'm sure, but I like that I'm not having to miss extra days just for the travel. I mean, I am anyway, but whatever. So I'm very, very, very excited. It took a little bit of time to like book it and make sure it was all right. But I'm booked and I'm so excited. I think I really needed that. I think that's maybe also made like this missing my parents harder, is knowing that I'm going to book, but that I haven't yet. And now I feel like maybe, hopefully, I can let go of that like missing them a little bit, because I know exactly when I'm next going to see them, and it's so exciting. I'm very, very happy. So yeah, I'm feeling good. Can you tell? And work today was so nice. So I started late because it's a Wednesday. So that in and of itself, I even had a bit of a sleep in. I think I slept in till like 8:30, which was such a win. And then I had a chill morning and then I went to work and it was so nice. I work in like a client facing job and we had no clients, which meant that we could just work through things. And my colleague was in as well. It's very rare that both of us work at the same time, but because we've been so behind the last couple of weeks, we've agreed with our manager that we'll do a couple of extra shifts where we are both in, and we worked through so much stuff. And on top of that, we had time to like chat and make sure that we were on the same page about things, and also chat with our other colleagues. It was so nice. It was so chill, and I'm very grateful for that. So yeah, it was a good day. I do think tomorrow is going to be busy, but I don't think it's going to be manic. I feel like we've got, fingers crossed, over the hurdle of, you know, the manic. And I think it is now just a matter of playing catch up more than anything. But like it feels a bit calmer. So hopefully, and also the fact that we've got on top of what we've got on top of already definitely feels like it makes a difference. And then tomorrow night, like I'll just come home and I don't have anything else to do. So that's nice. And then Friday I've got a half day. So, and then also on Saturday, I've said I won't go to my grandma's. So I've got all of Saturday at home, which is all just nice things for me. I think I need like things to slow down a little bit. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. That's all the updates. I've never, this is how excited I was. I saw the Christmas tree at Covent Garden, which I hadn't seen yet. First of all, just all the Christmas lights were gorgeous. But I'll pop in a picture because it was very pretty. It's a very good tree. So yeah, that made me happy too. I'm feeling good. I'm happy and I'm glad that I'm happy. And yeah, we've now just got to hope that everything stays reasonably calm because I can handle that. Okay, I will see you whenever I see you next. Bye. Hello, it's Friday afternoon. I've just come back from work. Shabbat starts in about 10 minutes. I'm quickly frying up an egg and I'm gonna have it with some avocado and on this same bread that I bought the other day, which has been really nice, a good success. And it's made me quite a few meals, so for 60p, definitely worth it. Today was the loveliest day at work. It was so good, and I'm so happy about it because we deserve it. It's been so hard and so busy and so much for so long, and finally today, it was still a lot in the morning, but I caught up, and then my colleague came in for a bit and we caught up the rest together, and by the time I left, there was nothing. It was amazing. So it felt really good, and I just hope that we can keep it that way. Last night was also lovely. I just was at home all evening and it was so nice. Before 6 o'clock, I had put on a laundry and showered and washed my hair and was in my pajamas. Like, oh, what a dream. That never happens. So I did some editing for YouTube. I watched some YouTube. I read some more of my book. Like, oh, what a dream. But I think that's where I'm gonna leave it because Shabbat is about to come in. So I'm gonna have my lunch and then I will probably just chill, relax, unpack everything and sort myself out. And then tonight I'm going to my grandma's and tomorrow I've got, well, theoretically I've got nothing, but I have just agreed to babysit because I am incapable of saying no apparently. So I have the whole day free, but then in the evening I will be going to babysit. But I think I will try and talk to you before I go out. Oh, my egg is ready. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say. So I'm very happy, I feel very good, and I will see you all hopefully tomorrow. Bye! Hello. Shabbat has been out for about an hour. I've done absolutely nothing today. I can't tell you what I've done because I have no idea. The day has just passed and I am glad about it. I don't think there was anything I needed to do and yeah, it's all good. Shabbat's been out about an hour. I don't know if I've said that already, but I was just editing and I've now taken a break because I want some food because I only had breakfast at like 11 and haven't had anything else. There's the toast. And then in about an hour I have to go, no, a bit more than an hour and a half. I need to go to do babysitting, which again, I'm not thrilled about, but it was 100% a choice. So yeah, hopefully it'll be chill and okay. And maybe I can get some more editing done. That would be nice. I have so much to edit for vlogs, and I know like what I'm going to be editing now is only going to go up in like February, but I also know that if I don't get started on it, then it will build up and build up and build up and end up feeling like an impossible task. The main things I want to do tonight before babysitting is finish editing the first video that I got started on and do the laundry. I think that's it, and if anything else crops up, I will let you know. I literally haven't got out of pajamas all day. It's been lovely. It's been so nice. But I think that's it for now. So let me eat and do the laundry and whatever else, and I will see you all probably not later, but maybe tomorrow, although I do also have a busy day tomorrow. Until I see you next, bye! Hello, I don't know if I mentioned last week or the week before that I really wanted to do my changeover of getting rid of my Christmas cards on the windowsill and switching it over to Christmas decorations. I intended to do it, I think either last week or the week before on Shabbat, and I looked everywhere where I thought my Christmas decorations could be and where I thought I'd kept them, and they weren't there. And then the only other place where they could be would be in my big case, which is hidden away in the storage, and I didn't want to get to it and I couldn't be bothered with it. So I sort of gave up on the thought. Well, today I was looking for my Hanukkah candles. I've got my Chanukiah, but my candles, and I couldn't find them. And so I thought, let me just have another look in all the places where I thought I checked before, just in case I didn't like think about them when I was looking for the Christmas stuff. And we have these under bed storage units, and some are mine and some are Wayne's. And I checked all of mine, and I think one of them is shared. I checked that one as well, and it wasn't in there. And then I thought, you know what, let me just check through Wayne's things just in case it's there. And lo and behold, not just do I find my second Chanukiah and the Chanukiah candles, which is the most important thing for me, I found all my Christmas things. So I've just picked up the birthday cards off the windowsill, and I'm going to put these where the Christmas stuff was. That's not the best place for them. I should have actually put them in my junk journal at the back of my bullet journal, but it's too late now. But that's good to remember for future. Anyway, I'm going to put these in there for now, and one day when I switch things over again, I'll place them somewhere else. But I thought, I've got sort of still about an hour, just under, let me try and decorate with you. Yay! This is what the windowsill currently looks like. We've got all the Winnie the Pooh little things. I've been forgetting about this, but I can put a candle there. We've got my cactus, which I think is quite dry. I probably need to water that, as well as this big plant. Let's feel it. Yeah, that's very dry. Let's add some water to that. And then the other little cactus. So I think I'm going to try and move all the plants over after I've watered them, and then get my Christmas things on here. And let me show you. This is everything I found. This one, I was so moved when I saw it. This is what my colleague gave me on the ship. And that was a mere, month before he passed away. So, can you see it? It's not focusing. There you go. You can kind of see it a bit better. So I'm very glad that I found that. This is a Christmas card from last year. This is from the ship. This was, I think, from Lapland. I think I stole it. But yeah, we can either wear it or decorate. And then I've got my Christmas hat, which I think is also from the ship. So let's see what we're going to do with it. It's so crinkled. Yeah, let me see. Here's the final result. I've put a thing in here to light, but I'm not going to light it right now because I am about to leave and I don't want to leave a candle burning. And I've got my Chanukiah there, which I don't think I've done it there before, but I like it. And then the flowers and the plants. Yay! I'm so glad I found that and that I was able to do it before Hanukkah, especially tomorrow, and before the Christmas period is over. And I'm excited when I can light the candles and the Chanukiah. Yeah, it's lovely. It's very special. I like having a little Christmas corner, or a festive corner, I should say. All right, well, I need to get ready to go now. But I'm very glad I was able to do that before leaving. Also, I've drawn out all the cards that I want to give. Let me show you. So I've actually already given one Christmas card off, so I'm not able to show you that one, but let me show you all the doodles I've done. So basically, just to explain in case you're new, I decided on my birthday when I got some cards that cards are really lovely and we don't give enough cards. So cards is going to be my thing from now on, or at least for next year. So I bought a big box of 100 cards and they're all blank, and every single one of them has a different pattern. And I did that with the intention of using some for Christmas, some for birthdays, maybe some for anniversaries, etc. But also slightly with the idea of I like doodling and I'm trying to do more with that and creative and whatnot. So I can use the left side of the card to draw a little doodle in theme with why I'm giving it. And a lot of these cards are going to people from work, all in the same job. And so I didn't want to repeat drawings. So I've tried to be creative, but let me show you what I've done. I'm going to show you the stocking first. Obviously, I'm going to cover the writing. This one's actually for Katie Rebecca, so not for work people. But there's the drawing. Those stars took me a long time to do. And that's the front of this one, sort of Christmas colours. I figured I could get away with it. This one's for Sam. This one I also did a gingerbread man for the friend I've already given a card to, and I preferred her gingerbread man. Sorry, Sam. But I'm learning. And this one's got lots of plants and flowers, which I thought was appropriate for Sam, and it's also sort of Christmassy colours. You know, there's some green and red in there, so I thought we could get away with it as well. Now we're coming into the work ones. And some of my work colleagues don't celebrate Christmas, so I didn't want to make it only Christmas themed, but more wintry. For example, these mittens, I really like these. And again, the card is like slightly festive colours, but also not too Christmassy. This one's also for someone non-Christian. This snowman was a fail. I'm quite sad about the way it looks. I am better at drawing snowmen than this, but alas. And I thought the dark blue on this one felt wintry. This is the one I'm perhaps most proud of. Look at that little elf. That's great. And I told the story of my Christmas name in Lapland, which was Raquel on the shelf, and the person I've written this card to particularly liked that, so I thought this would be an appropriate one. And again, the card is somewhat Christmassy colours. Okay, interesting. So this is the front of the card, again, somewhat Christmas colours, and this was the first Christmas tree I did, and that's what it looks like. And the reason why that's interesting is because I did another Christmas tree for a friend who isn't from work, and it just didn't look as good, and I couldn't figure out why. Like, to me, this just looks like a diseased tree, but I think I figured out why, having looked at that card. But it's not terrible, I hope. I hope you get the idea anyway. I could maybe add like some white gel pen to the top of each ball to make it look like they're ornaments hanging. I might do that. Actually, I didn't show you the front of that one. Again, more Christmassy colours-ish. I don't know what I'm gonna do next year, but hey-ho. And then this final one is actually the very first one I did. Also for someone who's not Christian but loves Christmas. So I did some presents. And this card is probably the most wintry, non-Christmas card I have, but I like it a lot. So yeah, that's the collection. As I say, I've already given one, so I can't show you that one, but I think that's all the ones I'm going to do. I don't think there's going to be any more. And I'm very happy that I got that done, and I will leave it there so that I can get ready to go babysitting, and I'll see you all at some point. Bye!